welcome to another exciting live stream, guys, where we're talking about New 52 Super Wonder comic series. And I'm your host, Taladia Blaze. And I'm joined, as always, by my co host, the one, the only Comics League. So let's get him in the show, shall we?
Evil Lois Lane!
Yes, even Lois Lane is
There
in
you
this.
go. So we're talking about issue 10 of Super Wonder. So I'm gonna open my big trade and see if there's any more that I gotta do real quick before we get to there. Just to make sure there's not enough context. All right, so let me put it this way: the Brainiac invasion has begun, and the bright idea of the Justice League is just send super doomed, just like aim him at a Brainiac and hope he like helps
He,
us out
he
there.
lands there. Yeah,
And also Super Doom teams up with Red Lantern Supergirl and they kick ass.
of
And
course.
yeah, so he's in space right now because remember he went to space because until he can get control of his poweredness, he's like, I'm just gonna stay here and gain control of the virus. So, all right, let me share a screen.
Okay, sure.
All right, so, okay, hang on. Okay, so Alana and Steel are going into space to find Superman, and as they do, they see this massive battle going on. And then I love this. A rocket's about to hit their ship, and then Super Doom just takes it like a beast. He's
Yes.
standing there he's basically not impressing them with the rocket. And then Super Doomed and like goes to work and like takes out the enemy. So Lois Lane just walks into to Metropolis because Metropolis is currently being quarantined.
Yeah.
So she just walks through, and then she transforms into a Brainiac drone. Which, when I read this, I'm like, Evil Lois Lane is canon now!
Yes.
Yay!
Yay! It makes it canon. Canon, canon, canon.
Canon, yes, exactly. We need the canon. So anyway, then Wonder Woman shows up, looking all fine and gorgeous, and then initiates a fight, and they battle. And she's basically so Lois is like not entirely like completely under
Con-
Brainiac's control.
So she's like half consciousness and
Yeah,
half.
so she's like, Diana, you gotta help me. So then they fight, and then Super Doom is still like it helps Steel, and he's like, dude, he kind of has a modica. He has more control now because he's not with the kryptonite atmosphere. That's why he was going full Hulk mode last issue.
Yeah.
So he has a little more control, although more the Doomsday like personality is coming through. That's why like at the bottom panel he goes, I don't need any help. So then Wonder Woman is being tortured by Lois. And
Brainiac.
what's cool about it is actually all these panels are like reflections of past issues. Like remember in Super Wonder issue 1 when she fights Doomsday? Right
Yes.
here, when she talks to Lois Lane, when she meets Clark for the first time after he's turned to Doomsday, the nuke, a few scenes from like her independent comic series, her mom being turned to stone, and then she wraps Lois in the lasso, and that's what really starts to break her out. And then John Corbin Metallo shows up because Metallo is dating Lois Lane, and I'm like, okay, as long as she's not with Clark, I could care
I,
less who Lois dates.
you're like I'm happy about this.
Mm-hmm.
You're like I'm really happy that this thing has happened.
Yeah, because again, as long as she's not dating Clark, I could care less. So, and now it's Wonder Woman versus Metallo. Then in Cyborg Superman, he's watching the whole space battle, and he's like, "Yeah, we're getting torn apart by this dude. We have to," and he finds out, "Oh no, he's coming towards us." So we're gonna get a battle between Cyborg Superman and
And
Super
Super
Doom.
Doom.
Hey, what's up, Pika?
Hey, what's up, Pika? Welcome to the stream.
That's a monster of a video, but great job. So they're in battle, and so Wonder Woman takes out Metallo. And then here's the interesting part. So Lois goes, "Yeah, he's not perfect, Wonder Woman, but at least he's here. Where's your man?" And then Wonder Woman goes, "I don't know, but if I
Oh,
know him, but I know him, and he's coming back." Then we see a matchup, a stare down like matchup between Super Doomed and Cyborg Superman, and that's the way the issue ends. But the cool thing about this,
the first time meeting of
well, yeah, and throughout it, you have this. I love the interactions between Clark and Super Doom because it's very reminiscent of Hulk and Dr. Bruce Banner from
or
Marvel, because they do that occasionally. They
yeah,
heavily with like Earth's Mightiest Heroes and such, when
or,
they actually have two personalities.
or like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, exactly. That's the general idea. And I just love all the action scenes. Again, I love Lois versus Wonder Woman because I'm like, yes, kill her, Wonder Woman, kill her.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, yes, give us more.
I also kind of like the design of the Brainiacified Lois. It actually looks pretty cool.
Yes.
And then, of course, Lois just walks in. I just love she just walks in. She's like, press. And they're like, okay.
I'm just like, I'm glad that this issue kind of sees her as an evil version of herself.
Mm-hmm. And then how about that? I also love the space battle because the art by, I'm trying to get the name of the artist so I can credit him properly. It is Paolo Siqueira and Pascal Alixe. If I mispronounce your names, I apologize, but their art solid because it's very high energy. It communicates speed, communicates momentum and power. And a Superman book, particularly one as bombastic and Michael Bay-ish as this, you want that. I mean,
Correct.
just look at this epic battle. The way that I love it when the colorist, by Hi-Fi, by the way, is in such a way that the art kind of glows a little bit. So what do
Yeah.
you think, Taladia?
So I thought the issue was great. I thought the artwork was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
And I also thought that like the story between Super Doomed and sorry, Doomsday and Clark, that was pretty cool to see. And then Lois Lane, it's great to see Lois Lane in the position she should be in. That is
Mm-hmm.
evil.
I've always
That's
said she'd be a great villain in the Superman things. She's the journalist constantly trying to expose Superman's identity.
I mean, in this context, in the New 52 universe, it makes total sense to make her an evil person.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, you know it's interesting. We start seeing some of the spikes coming through the armor now.
Yes. But they're not ordinary spikes. They're like blue.
Yeah, I think that's like Kryptonian or something like that. But yeah, so the action in this is where it really sells me because it's just freaking dope. The way everything flows well, and of course, it's Charles Soule writing. You're gonna get high quality Superman and Wonder Woman stuff.
Hmm.
So in a way, what's kind of funny, you can kind of count this as a second Super Wonder like rematch because the new Super Wonder is Metallo and Lois.
Yes.
So I find that very interesting there. And and I believe, I believe next issue is the match with Cyborg, I think, or or it'll be like in the main book. Hang on, I'm checking right now just to check to make sure I can give you guys accurate information. The next book is going to be. I'm checking it out right now. Oh, the next book is going to be dope, dude. The next book you are going to really dig. The next two issues are going to be awesome because it's a rematch between Super Doom and Wonder Woman,
Yes.
and it really picks up. But excuse me, this issue I
Okay.
really just equated to like a big bombastic Zack Snyder style action scene. And that's our obligatory Zack Snyder reference.
Yeah, we always have to bring Zack Snyder up in the stream, guys. You guys know that as facts.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I also gotta say, like in this issue, what was also cool was the artwork, especially with Superman and Cyborg Superman.
Yeah, like right here. Hang on, I'll zoom in.
Yeah,
Like, look at that. Plus, you also get a sense of scale of how large Super Doomed is compared to like Cyborg Superman.
yes.
It's really interesting when you look at that.
And
Because
it's
yeah, go
kind
ahead.
of it's kind of funny that we get this the first time Cyborg Superman meets Superman he's in the Doomsday format.
And here's what I need to tell you. That's not Hank Henshaw Cyborg Superman.
It's not,
In the
no.
new 52, I think it was Kara's father.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah. So he's
Yeah.
actually Kryptonian. So in a way, he is a Superman. So it's not like Hank Henshaw just assuming the name.
But I find it interesting, like it's not Hank Henshaw. It was like when they first revealed it, I was like, wait, not Hank Henshaw? Is he
Mm-hmm.
an astronaut still?
Yeah. Um, I don't know what happened to Hank in this part of the universe at this moment, but the overall point is, so this is honestly actually it was kind of interesting. This is very similar to the original Death of Superman storyline. Hey, what's up, Wakar?
Yo, yo, what's up, Aka?
Because if you notice here, in the original Death of Superman story, Cyborg Superman, or the Hank Henshaw version of him, the point is Cyborg Superman was teamed up with Mongol. In this, he's teamed up with Brainiac. So again, this is 100% why I freaking love the new 52, because they took the epic story of the death of Superman and told it in a new way instead of just reiterating the same story over and over again. In other words, they have the same story beats.
Yeah.
Although I can promise you, Hal Jordan does not become New 52 Parallax.
Like, oh, what's interesting is like the panel work,
Mm-hmm.
like the
I mean the
the
layouts.
the layout, the way this book is done is very unique
Mm-hmm.
compared
Like,
to
look at how all the stuff flows together.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Everything is done so well because that in itself is one of the most unsung tough tasks of making a good comic, because you have to lay out the panels in a way that logically flows, and that is actually hard when you're dealing with comic art and stuff.
yes. I just find it like interesting, like because I'm so much into like the Superman side of it,
Mm-hmm.
I am invested into finding out what happens next to Superman.
Oh, it's a good one. Plus, again, this book continues to prove that Wonder Woman works in that side of the house. Because that's another like criticism of Super Wonders, that people think that they don't fit in each other's worlds, if you will.
Right, right.
Wonder Woman is straight up in Superman's world right now, and she's fine.
I just like I said, I just think it's so interesting and intriguing to see the dynamic between, the dynamic that we got Clark off world, while you have Wonder Woman on world on Earth dealing with normal day threats, right?
Mm-hmm.
It it's going to be really, really interesting to see how um how this
The
how,
story
how
concludes and stuff.
yeah, because I was like looking at skimming through some of the other issues, and let me just tell you, some of the other issues that don't pique my interest
Oh, they will. They will.
because there's only two issues left. Well, this is the one issue, then the next issue is the volume two.
Wait, let me see. This is volume 2. This is 10, and actually, there's 12 in volume 1.
12 in volume 1? I thought you said there's only 8.
No, there's 12. I said 12.
Volume 1.
I mean, I'm sorry, volume 2. I'm sorry. Volume 2.
Yeah,
So
volume 2 has
there's
12.
12, and the 12th issue, since we're stopping here, it actually ties it together with volume 1 really well when you read it. So when you read
Excellent.
it and when we talk about it, I think you'll appreciate it more.
Because when I saw the truth stuff, I was just like, no,
Truth stuff is
no,
not in this. Nowhere near this.
no. I was reading, like, I was just skimming through the truth stuff. And I was just like, when I saw the front cover, I was just like, nope,
Well,
not for me.
luckily for you, Taladia, we're not covering that stuff.
Yes.
Because that was the issue, and we'll talk about that never. But so because after volume 2, we're jumping to the best series of the new 52, the Justice League.
Oh, yes.
That's gonna be fun because you'll see the basic origin of their relationship.
It's going to be very interesting, though.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting to see the conclusion of volume 2.
Mm-hmm. It'll be. I think you're gonna really like the way this story wraps up.
Can you give me a little tease, please?
The way you mean a tease of the way volume 2 wraps up?
Yeah.
Something that happens all the way in volume 1 is addressed and is a central plot point of the issue.
Okay, now you got me thinking. You have got me thinking about.
That's
The
all I'm going to
future.
say. I'm
You
not
have
saying
got me
anything else.
You don't have to tell me anything else. You have got me thinking about what it could be. So I will be thinking about that going further on. But can I ask you, like, the next issue that I read, Super Doom and Cyborg Superman, do they have a big fight on a grander scale?
That's in the main Super Doom book, not in the Superman Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
But
Is
they
it
do, and
connected?
it's an awesome battle.
They do? Okay. Does Superman say to Cyborg Superman, you're not what's it called? What's his name?
You're not Hank Henshaw? No, they never
Oh,
reference. In fact, I'll tell you what they do. So Super Doom just tears his arm off and leaves him floating in space.
ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Actually, I have the page open here. This is what happens right here.
Let me full screen you. Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Mm-hmm. That's what he does.
That's got to hurt.
Oh yeah, and just leaves him floating in space. And then Brainiac's main ship invades. So it's very cool there.
So Brainiac invades. Great.
Yeah, and then the battle between Superman and Wonder Woman happens.
I can't wait to read the next 2 issues. I
And
really
it's
am.
quite a battle. And I will say the issue after begins with something that's so funny, and I'll tell you that later. Hey, what's up, Temple?
What's up, Temple? He's a big Superman fan. So
Hey, I can see that. You have excellent taste, my friend.
you got excellent taste in Superman. So we're talking about the new 52 Superman, if you're wondering, Temple.
Mm-hmm. Superman and Wonder Woman.
Superman and Wonder Woman, to be precise.
Mm-hmm.
And the comic we're covering, the issue that we're covering, is when Superman turns into Doomsday.
Yes,
He has
that
the
is
Doomsday
correct.
virus, and he's in space. And the image you can see on screen is when he's stopping a rocket, I believe, just hitting a aircraft.
It had just happened, as a matter of fact. That's when he first. That's when he and Steel met. The rocket happened actually right here, right there. There you go, and it's a pretty kick-ass issue.
Yeah, it is.
Because the idea is Clark is like, okay, so I'm fighting So I'm in a situation where I have to where he's gonna kill everyone. You know what? I'm gonna let loose. Mostly sucked, unfortunately. Hey, that's a hot take, my friend.
That's a hot take. But we're here like we're
It doesn't suck, dude. Anyone that tells you that is lying.
this would you believe, Temple? This book, Superman and Wonder Woman, Volume 1 and Volume 2 outsold everything. Rebirth, DCU,
Yep.
DCU,
Not only
and
that, Taladia.
Dawn of DC.
Wait. Volumes 3, 4, and 5 also outsold Rebirth. The self-sabotage portion of it. I mean, I like Superman Unchained. Yes, and you will love this. That's pretty
Yeah,
much new 52 Superman in a nutshell.
yeah,
And we'll cover that story, by the way.
we will be. We will be covering. There's a lot of stuff for New 52 that we're covering on this channel, and there's loads of different things we got planned up for the future for like not only comics but video games as well. So if you're huge into your video games, then this is the channel for you. Um, but yeah, so back to the comic though, Jared. I just think that it's so cool when Superman just like does this, right? Stands there or
Mm-hmm.
flies there,
Just takes
like
the rocket. I love it.
just it just goes impacts, explosion, and
You
then you
could say
see
he's not impressed.
not impressed. Yeah,
Yeah,
Zack Snyder. We always have to reference Zack
we
Snyder.
always have to. That's part of the charm of this channel.
Yes. Forewarning, Claudia, I'm tagging you in my latest community post. All right. Thank you for giving me the warning.
But so, Taladia, what was your favorite part of this issue?
Oh, it has to be the Lois and Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Bam.
that's my favorite because you see, not only because I absolutely loathe Lois Lane, but it's also because of the scene where Lois Lane rubs in Wonder Woman's face and she goes, "At least my man is here. Where's yours?" And he goes, "Oh, he's coming back." It's like Wonder Woman still has hope that Superman will overcome the Doomsday virus. So
It's
there's
gonna be
that.
great.
Mhm.
It's gonna be crazy.
And in terms of how I rate this out of 10, I probably just rate it 10 out of 10. Art stellar, story's awesome, emotions there. The action is superb, like chef's kiss. It's so good.
Yes. I do also wonder, like, why hasn't why hasn't um Warner Brothers taken a look at the bigger picture here?
Because here's why: ego, 100% ego. It's run
Look,
by
just look.
Ego, the Living Planet.
This comic is 10 times. Sorry, this not this issue, but this comic series is like the biggest go to place for me to read
Well,
stuff.
yeah, 100% because it's got the epic action. Once you have a Justice League established, you can definitely turn this into a movie.
Yes. So
Plus, here's the cool part. We're all very tired of seeing the death of Superman. How about this? Instead of Superman dying, he almost turns into a gray, bony Hulk. Yeah, there you go. That's the fun part. I like that. Because everyone always complained like with Death of with BVS, they cram that story in there. But if you do this, that's an entirely new way of doing the story. I think that'd be really cool. And Taladi is having technical difficulties, folks. By the way, and Siller Pika. By the way, if you guys have read the book or like are interested in reading the book, what are your thoughts on it? If you guys enjoy it, give New 52 a chance, like an actual legitimate chance, and I think it will surprise you with how good it actually is. it gets a tough rap because you got a lot of purists online that A, don't really buy the books, B, don't really read the books. They just post a bunch of panels out of context and then market themselves as official authority on how these characters should act, which they're not. So, okay, Talati is back. So, Talati, I was
Yeah.
saying, can you imagine, instead of doing like the death of Superman, just do this? Because you can still
Super
use
Doom.
Doomsday.
Super Doom works.
Plus, you can also bring in the Superman and Wonder Woman story, which no one would complain about that.
Okay, Pika, you take it easy. Have a great sleep. So,
Hmm?
so I give this issue though. Let's rate the issue because
10
I
out of
think that's
10.
definitely a 10 out of 10 issue. And honestly, I'm looking. While when I look at this, I'm just like,
Mind
is
blown.
yeah,
Temple says, overall, I like the new for 52. I prefer Rebirth, but I still find New 52 great. Never got into a lot of New 52 suits, but New 52, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Flash were great. Yeah, so actually give it a shot up until the Truth arc. Avoid the Truth arc where he loses his powers. Do not go there. That is horrible.
yes. Just follow the path of what we're doing, which is
Follow the
covering
path of what we're doing, and then we'll be fine.
which is volume 1 and 2 of Super Wonder, Superman Unchained, of course, which you like.
Justice League. We'll do
Justice League,
Batman. We'll do Flash.
yes.
We'll do Wonder Woman.
We'll do a bit of Batgirl.
I think we should focus on Justice League, any Superman book, and any Wonder Woman book because the Super
Yeah,
Wonder stuff also intersects there.
yes. But yeah, I think given the overall state for this issue is like 10 out of 10. Great artwork, great storytelling, and why isn't DC doing this
Mm-hmm.
nowadays? It just
Ego, because they're
who
so
mentioned.
stuck on having Lois Lane as the love interest. I finished Alan Wake too. Hey, what's up, Tevia?
Hey, what's up, Tevia? Who mentioned
They're
Super
so
Fan?
stuck on having Lois Lane be the primary love interest that they're not allowing Superman to grow.
I am sure Jared was happy with the evil Lois Lane. Yes, he is. He is
Yeah,
happy
he
with that.
was. There's many reasons why this was one of my favorite issues because of that.
Once I get into New 52 Superman, I'm gonna skip that. I don't know what IG.
Once I get into New 52, yes, skip that, skip the truth arc. Exactly. Yeah, would love you to cover New 52 Aquaman. Yes, we have to cover Aquaman.
Yes,
Aquaman is freaking dope. It's really good.
we are gonna be covering. There's a lot of things on the channel we'll be covering anyway. So like we're doing news.
Basically, the way we outlined this is we are going to do every single good book of the New 52.
I
Yes,
guess.
skip that. Skip that. But yes, we're going to be covering only the good parts of New 52 because I'm trying to show people that although the New 52 gets a bad rap, it was actually more fun than people give it credit for.
Yes.
Will you be covering the end of this event? No, because we're only covering the Superman and Wonder Woman portions of it.
No, we're not covering the end of the event, Heavy. We already discussed this before. We're not gonna cover uh volume volume 3. We already
No,
decided
I
that.
think he means the end of Super Doomed. So actually, yeah, we kind of are.
Okay. Um, but Jared, I gotta ask you this, right?
Yeah, what's up?
When we got a member in the chat.
Hey, Jay Heat!
He's gotta bring the heat.
Jay Heat!
Flame on.
What you want to ask me, Taladia?
So I want to ask you is when you first started reading New 52,
It was this
right?
book, first off, that I first started really reading it.
Right. When you started diving into it, what did you what did you think of Superman then?
Oh, I finally understood what the hell why everyone loves Superman. Because again, I found him to be very boring as a character and very one noted. Again, I was in the general audience. I didn't understand. When I read this and then I went back, I was like, okay, that's great. Should I tell you the ending of Super Doom, or does that connect to Superman and Wonder Woman series? Don't tell me the end. I know the ending, Tevia, but Taladia doesn't. Please don't.
Yeah, please don't. I uh need to see it, read it for myself. So
Yeah, but the point is, when I saw this, because Superman was now relatable. Superman was never relatable to me. He just seemed like some dude that everything always goes right for, and I was like, well, that's boring as hell. Then when I read this and then went back to the previous stuff, because that's what I did. I read New 52 Superman and then read the older stuff like Unchained, like For Tomorrow, like Secret Origin, all that stuff, and then
yeah,
fell in love with these characters. All these general members have to do is read All Star Soup, Soups for All Seasons, or just all these guys. Yeah, exactly. But what you have to understand is you have to give them a gateway in for them to you have to make these characters relatable to the general audience, and then they will get into it, like what Zack Snyder did, like what the New 52 did, because there's a reason why DC had one of its largest upticks in sales under this initiative, because you didn't have to read anything to understand what was going on with Superman. Not a thing. You could just pick up Superman 1 and Action 1 and just read the books. You're good. And then the way that he was characterized, he was actually Golden Age Superman. And we'll explain that when we read the Grant Morrison era of Superman. But the thing is, see, here was the problem with it. He made mistakes and had to learn how to be Superman. A lot of Superman fans don't want to see that. No, do not read Superman Rebirth. That was horrible, particularly after this. Oh, and
yes,
wait, Tavia, the Superman Lois and Clark series. You mean the one where he sits on his ass all day when the Anti-Monitor is invading? You mean that one? Did what
New
was supposed
52.
to do as a starting point, but fans did. No. It wasn't fan expectations, Jahid.
Gee,
It was the expectations of people on Twitter that pirate books and don't buy them. That's the expectation that DC for some reason listened to. Yeah, do not under any Birthright. Yes, read Birthright. Birthright's a fantastic origin. Don't read Superman Lois and Clark, because when you realize that that takes place during the New 52, all of this is happening, and that Superman is sitting on his ass all day. That is a horrible book for that reason.
yes, I agree. I
I've
agree
gone
with.
on many a rant about that, because it's a character assassination on Superman just so you can bring in the real Superman. Oh, you mean the real Superman is a coward who sits by when the Anti-Monitor is invading? More on that when we read the Justice League book. But yes, rant over. That's my point there. But to be clear, if you like that, that's fine. I just personally can't stand that era, because also here's the stupid thing about Rebirth. They use that as an excuse editorially to just badmouth New 52 all the time, saying it wasn't really DC. And I'm like, screw you. I enjoyed it. Not entirely the New 52 series. Like assuming it was no, but Tevia. The point is that that series happens at the same time as this stuff is happening, and that Superman doesn't do anything. I'm pretty sure the Superman could prioritize the Anti-Monitor, the force that destroyed the multiverse when I was around, the force that killed Kara. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Is invading. The crime syndicate takes over Earth and says, we've killed the Justice League. I think you should show up, particularly if you're the real Superman.
yes, and nobody should be sitting on their hands.
Yeah,
And
exactly. This was
not,
lazy. That was lazy Superman.
yeah, or as we like to call it, couch potato Superman.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one, Taladia. That is my fundamental issue with that, because of him growing as a character, becoming a father. But I also, but I get why you wouldn't like it, because I guess since Lex was Superman for a while, he wasn't really Superman. He was trying to be Superman. That was honestly a decent Lex storyline. And the thing about it, becoming a father, the thing about that, the thing you have to understand about that is that the series just didn't sell well either. That's the issue, is that DC for some reason got the idea that we should prioritize not sales, even though DC is a business. Becoming fun.
Yeah,
And to be clear, I've heard people say, well, if they prioritize sales, then a lot of bad books that sell well get promoted. Then don't buy them. It's that simple. That yes, Jay Heat's right. Actually, they turned Lex into a steal. It was a cool ass Lex storyline. Don't get me wrong. I actually really liked that. We're not going to cover it because of Rebirth, but the point is, the funny part is that when DC abandoned New 52, their sales tanked and they haven't recovered since. And I'm just going off of what comic book shop owners have said.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, rant over, Talati. I don't want to take over your show.
No. You keep it going. Keep it going.
Yeah, but and that's my issue. Well, yes, Tevia, I'm not saying all of it was good. I am not saying all of it was good. There were some issues with the New 52. My point is there wasn't a reason to just wholesale throw it away in the interest of nostalgia baiting, because that didn't work. Plus, if you're a Batman Beyond fan, I was pissed. Well, again, Tevia, just because there were certain books that weren't good doesn't mean the entire initiative was bad. That's what I'm going to say there. That's what a lot of people, for some reason, couldn't get, is that just because there were some bad books. Like, Talati and I are not going to cover a New 52 Teen Titans or Batman Beyond at all. No. Yeah. Or Future's End or anything like that. Also, I had to skip Dark Crisis and the metal event.
Jay Heat, I'll send you a link.
Yeah.
1 second.
Also, I had to skip Dark Crisis and the metal events. I just hate Batman being a prep god all the time. Doomsday Clock was interesting, though, at least. Doomsday Clock was great because you know what it did? It took the New 52 universe and put it on the side as another universe and just said, hey, this still exists. If you love it, there is a place for you. That was my problem with Rebirth. Rebirth said, screw you if you're a New 52 fan. And I'm like, yeah, if you're being vindictive to your fan base, guess what that leads to? A sharp decrease in sales. It has never worked and never will work.
Jay, I sent you a link, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Doomsday Clock was great. I love that. Yeah, and yeah, DC tends to do that. I love Adam as the anti-hero in Doomsday Clock. Yeah, that was cool. I love that one too. And also, I had to skip Dark Crisis and the metal events because he hates Batman. Yeah, I got it. Hey, Jay Heat's here.
Hey,
yo, come on. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. I'm good. I'm feeling a little ranty.
That you are, Jared. That you are.
But am I wrong, Jay Heat? Am I wrong?
No, I mean, Super Doom being a glorified Hulk story aside, you've made some good points.
The point is that the reason why Rebirth failed as a publishing initiative, and notice New 52 was on the books, was an initiative 5 years. Rebirth was basically a year and a half. You know why? Because when you're being vindictive to the loads of new fans that showed up because of this, guess what that leads to? A sharp and dramatic decrease in sales, and DC has never recovered from it.
I'm just going to be real here, and I'm probably going to get some rants in the comments for this. Mm-hmm. There was no real transition to help fill the void between the huge shakeups. Like, we didn't get a crisis event for the New 52. Now,
well, actually, we did. Flashpoint. That counts.
Flashpoint was self-contained. Editorial just seized an open opportunity.
No. It became a crisis. It counts. The universe was changed. It counts.
You want to play fast and loose with Watchmen? Okay. But as I was saying, by that same argument, Convergence is a crisis, but we don't talk about Convergence. How do we?
Technically, but I mean,
checkmate, my friend.
It's the crisis everyone ignores. That's why.
But I will say this, though. I mean, banter aside, I will say this: if you had something like, say, New Direction, cheap plug on my part, I had to, you would have at least had more of a transition between the New 52 fans and the Rebirth fans. Now,
you could have given everyone what they wanted.
If you haven't seen those videos, I highly recommend it. But hey, that's enough cheap plugs for me. That's enough cheap plugs for me.
Yes. And by the way, Temple, Warworld Saga is one of the only modern Superman. Hey, what's up, Master Sergeant? How you doing, my brother?
What's up?
Warworld Saga is one of the best Superman stories of all time. I'm gonna stop sharing this since we're done with that. But
Yeah.
it is amazing. But and good question: should we count Dark Knights Metal and DCU as DCU is not a crisis?
Wait,
Dark
wait,
Knights,
which DCU they're talking about?
DCU.
DCYOU, you know.
Oh no, 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 no,
that is
no,
not a
no,
crisis.
no,
No, that is in
no.
no way a crisis. Metal, you can kind of make the argument, particularly death metal, that it's a crisis.
Now, DCYOU, God forbid I'm actually referencing this, but DCYOU was essentially a transition while they were changing offices from, I believe it was from.
I thought that
from
was
one side of-
Convergence.
It's around the same time. DCYOU was after Convergence, so it was around the same time.
Okay.
But even so, I wouldn't count that as a crisis. I'd count that as corporate. I would count that more akin to future state. Like we had the certain direction.
Yeah.
We have to go.
We had to go in a new direction with future state. By the way, we should do that.
We'll tackle it at some point. We'll tackle it. But as I was saying, World War Saga is solid. No one's going to refute that.
So
but
good.
To make this a long story short, New 52 did what it was supposed to do. It was a starting point. It boosted sales, but you didn't have proper transition. You didn't have a proper closure with the old guard coming in.
You didn't.
No, because Flashpoint was relatively self-contained. Prior to them retconning and claiming it as a crisis after the fact, Flashpoint was relatively self-contained.
And by the way, I now hate Injustice because that's the story that made people think that without a human mate, Superman turns into an evil dictator. And I'm like,
to be fair,
no!
It was a realistic Superwonder.
Hey, what's up, Christopher? No, it's not, Jay Heath. Stop it. I'm sick. I'm dealing with a cold. I cannot take this stress.
So somebody clip this. Somebody clip this.
What did you say?
I said I'm sick. I'm dealing with a cold. I cannot take this stress.
I don't. What did Jay say?
He said that Injustice was a more realistic portrayal of Superwonder.
I said it gave a realistic portrayal. I didn't say it was the best.
That's an evil Wonder Woman. That's not a realistic portrayal. What are you talking about?
In that universe, Wonder Woman is Superman's rebound girl. That's it.
Yeah,
that is
evil Wonder Woman. I said when I was doing Super Wonder Legacy with Brit, I said if I came on that book, immediately the first thing I would do is make it so that was Cersei the entire time impersonating Diana, and she's like in chains on in Olympus somewhere.
That's actually not a bad approach.
So I can at least fix that character assassination. Bro, the main value. Yes, it is Wonder Woman. I'm like, what the heck? That was a cool reveal in the game, but when I really think about it, I'm like,
it makes sense.
I'm like, for that universe, it makes sense, but I really don't like Tom Taylor writing DC characters anymore. And then Tevia actually has a good question. You know, it's funny. Future State and Future's End have the exact same problem. They had bad stories set in a terrible future. That is a good point.
One's an editorial mandate. The other is a new direction gone horribly wrong.
Well, the problem, yes, nice. The problem with Future State is that it was supposed to be 5G. It got leaked. And then everyone freaked out and said, we don't want this. But DC had already published or like had already completed a lot of those books. So they had to get them out. So they had to rebrand it as Future State and just say, okay, now it's this now.
Essentially, it was Armageddon 2001 all over again. If you old cats remember Armageddon 2001, that's essentially what happened here.
Temple says, I'm also not a fan of Super Wonder. I always thought Lois is Heart of Soups. I just wish Injustice would have get that weird shit more popular.
Okay, I kind of see where you're coming from. Before Jared has an aneurysm, I'll take over.
Okay.
Clark and Lois is established. It's been for decades. It's the IP. It's pretty much how someone with good values, despite having absolute power, is not corrupted. Now, does Lois play a role in Superman's life? Yes. Has she been mostly the damsel of distress most of the time? Definitely.
She still is.
But I wouldn't call Lois a core aspect of Superman's character. Just a strong caveat. Who has? I guess I'm referencing Pika Shade's Battle of the Super Sons review, where she tends to boast and act bigger than what she actually is.
I love when he put me in there. But okay, so now I'm gonna jump in. The problem with that is that guess what? Lois Lane's whole role throughout her publication history was just to be the damsel in distress. And here's how you know Lois Lane is actually not that great of a character. To improve her, they just turn her into other characters. Like currently they have her basically be Perry White, where she screams at people. She's the editorial in chief of the Daily Planet and screams at people. I'm pretty sure that's Perry White. If she says Great Caesar's Ghost, I will throw a comic across the room. But that and then in like I think it was like Rebirth, she piloted the Hellbat armor because somehow she knows how to do that. That's my problem. When you're so
it feeds
desperate,
off human metabolism, so piloting the Hellbat armor isn't really that hard to do.
Well, the problem, she somehow knows how to use all that gear. But the problem with that is that to make a character relevant, you have to turn her into other characters. Lois Lane, I just figured this out, is DC's Mary Sue. That's what she is.
I don't know who that is.
It's a female character that's good at everything for no reason.
It can apply to more than just women, Jared. Mary Sue is or Gary Stu, if you want the male equivalent. Yeah. It's a literary term where over assertion is used to where it breaks the established lore to where they completely take the spotlight, etc., etc., etc. Now,
But wait, Temple, let me ask you this, because Temple says, I wish they wouldn't ruin Lois by doing that. That's implying that she's ever been anything other than a damsel in distress.
Now, she's had innovations over the years.
But those things have failed. That's the thing. Remember the Greg Rucka Lois Lane series?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think the fan base wants her to perpetually be the damsel in distress so Superman can save her, because otherwise that's your soul better. And yeah, but Tevye, I get why you like that, because it somehow tangentially links to the Super Sons, but when you think about it, it doesn't make sense. How does she know how to operate the Hellbat armor?
It doesn't make any sense.
And the whole because she's Lois Lane doesn't work because she's not Batman.
She's not.
I mean, I saw it as just a badass mom moment trying to protect her kid.
But when you think about it, how does she know how to use the armor? There's no way Batman would show how to do that.
Let's say there was an autopilot feature. I don't know how to respond to that. I honestly don't know.
But they should put that in the book.
But in the end, the first Rebirth arc, the Superwoman stuff, it was okay.
Actually,
it was okay. I had nothing against it.
My favorite Lois has always been from All-Star and Rebirth. Fair enough. Fair enough. I find that as a Ripley. No. Because here's the thing. Ripley was an engineer. She would have known how to use one of those power loaders. There's a difference. You're a reporter. You're not a Robin. You're not. I could take Robin or Nightwing or even Batgirl knowing how to operate the Hellbat armor.
That's practical.
Because it's practical. Ripley was an engineer that worked on ships. She would have used a power loader once. Lois at no point would have used the Hellbat armor or known how to use the Hellbat armor. That is lazy writing by lazy writers who just want some excuse to make Lois Lane relevant.
Or they wrote themselves in a corner and they used the most contrived way to get out of it. Chip Zdarsky.
That too.
Excuse me.
But that's my chief issue with the way Lois Lane has always been written in the comics. And I say always because they always try and like add stuff to her that doesn't make sense to make her more relevant. The Superwoman reboots are technically speaking of the New 52 Lana Lang, the New 52 Lois who got killed. I mean, yeah, Lois shouldn't know how to operate Hellbat armor, but that goes the same for Bat.
Temple. I get what you're saying, but Bat God logic does not apply in this.
No. You cannot because Batman. At least they have established that he is prepped for every contingency. There is prior comic knowledge of him being prepped for literally anything.
And half of that's just him being paranoid. But again, that's a separate conversation.
Well, yeah, he has contingency plans to take out each member of the Justice League. He's known as being that paranoid. So, and by the way, he only really beat Darkseid once, and that's because he broke his I won't kill you rule for Darkseid in Final Crisis.
And even then, there was a flesh.
He's not help from the Justice League. Or he used the Hellbat armor himself that he himself made.
And granted, remember, he did not win that fight. He got a couple hits in, but he did not win that fight.
No, he didn't. That's That's the thing. And again, Jay, thank you for saying that. You cannot use Batman logic on Lois Lane because guess what? She ain't Batman.
You're not wrong.
And that's my problem. Just because, oh, it's so cool that she's using the Hellbat armor. When you think about it, it's honestly kind of insulting to Lois Lane because I'm like, you have to turn her into Batman now in order to make her relevant. Technically, the Justice League helped Batman make the Hellbat. Yeah, that too. They helped Batman make it. That wasn't just a Batman thing. But that's my problem. This character that everyone thinks is like so central to Superman is just it's just a character that everyone just turns into other characters. And then Bats also defeated Darkseid in the Apocalypse arc, where Darkseid captured Supergirl.
Batman.
No. Actually, he just outsmarted he just outspoke Darkseid. Darkseid still showed up, and then Superman defeated him in the Apocalypse arc.
And even then, it was Omega XL9. He was going to set off the entire Omega, basically Darkseid's entire arsenal on his planet, and the chain reaction probably would have took out that whole sector.
Plus,
so that was one hell.
Plus, here's the key part: Jeff Loeb showed but didn't tell. We saw him prepping the bombs, so at least we saw that. We never saw Lois learning how to use the Hellbat armor.
Or at the very least, a throwaway line saying, oh, I fixed that problem if you only use the suit for short bursts.
Yeah, they never did that. Never once. That's my problem. That is because, honestly, a lot of people from New 52 and on, actually pre-Crisis 2, to a certain degree, Lois writers are lazy because they do that. Jeff also wrote Ultimate, which was bad. Tevia, just because he wrote that story does not mean all of his writing is bad.
Arguably, you can make the argument that Jeff Loeb made the best out of a bad situation.
I mean, I'm not trying to say that Lois should be like Bats. Obviously not. Just wish DC would make some stories that make more sense. Well, yeah, exactly. If they give me a good Lois Lane story, I will fully say this was a good thing. The problem is, as of yet, they haven't, because they keep doing the same stuff over again. And that's why I absolutely abhor and loathe this character with every fiber of my comic lord being, because they keep making her an unlikable character for these reasons. That's my problem with DC. They keep trying to force her on the fan base. You need to like this or you're not a real Superman fan. I'm like, nope, sorry. Yeah, and yes, Jeff Loeb has made mostly great stories for DC. Hush, Long Halloween, to name a few.
You can't brand one flop into an entire comic book writer's repertoire, or any media writer in a sense.
Yeah, you can't do it. Personally, I would defend Rebirth Superman until the day I die. But we know why you. We know why you would defend that. I wonder if it didn't have. Let me ask you this, Tevia. If it didn't have John Kent Superman, would you be this adamant about defending it? If it didn't have John Kent, pretend that series does not feature John Kent. Would you be defending that?
Or the Super Sons, for that matter.
Or the Super Sons. Pretend that wasn't a thing in Rebirth. Pretend they never introduced that. I want to know, would you actually defend that? And by the way, please don't think we're picking on you. We're not.
No. We're just asking.
We're just asking.
It's a legitimate question I want to know. Because you brought that up and everyone knows why you defend that. I just want to know, if that one factor was not in there, would you still defend that series?
And Super Sons didn't even sell that level.
No, it didn't. It bombed. Same time, but also Super Sons. The animated adaptation was good, but even that didn't do that well.
I mean, it was mediocre. I mean, it got you in the 55 to 60,000 range, but I think it peaked around 65.
Yeah, and that's the issue. This book, even on its bad day, outsold all of Rebirth and
a huge chunk of the New 52 combined.
Yes, this one book, the Super Sons was amazing. Yeah, we know that, Tevia. We know that.
We know, buddy. We know
that. Personally, I found a little bit of it to be a little cringe, but that's just me. I did like actually the Super Sons when we got nominated for an award, which I'm so happy. Oh, okay.
But Tevia, you haven't answered that question.
Yeah. If the Rebirth Superman did not include John Kent as a character, say they never had that happen, would you still be defending that series so adamantly? I really want to know.
Wait, does John even have a personality prior to getting aged up? Because seriously, I went back.
He's just He's just Superman's son. That's his personality.
Like seriously, I barely remember anything from the Super Sons comic. Just a few issues.
Shows, but I love Daniel. Daniel, what's up, dude? It shows what Lois Lane really is, a despot villain. Thank you. Love you, Daniel.
Well, she was. Well, this is New 52 Lois, and she was brainwashed by Brainiac. So
Lois has always been a villain.
Where are you going with this, Jared?
By villain, I mean unlikable character. I've outlined my reasons for that.
Yeah, he did.
Temple says, also, I still wish we got an adaptation of Superman for all seasons. That I would like. Like, how do we not get this? Yeah, I know. Nightfall. Yes. Hell yes. What they could do is
Nightfall requires a lot of setup. You need a fully established Bat family. You need a John Paul Valley.
Tavia says that Superman Rebirth series is unfortunately the foundation is connected to the Superman family. So hard to answer that. Say they. Okay, that's actually a fair question. But let's say, okay, I'll give you this. Let's say John Kent was not in Rebirth in general. Would you still enjoy Rebirth that much?
Or even Convergence for that.
Or even Convergence. Say Convergence that never happened. Say John Kent was never born. Say they never lazily brought in real Superman and made him sit on his ass. Say they never did that. Would you still defend Rebirth that much? A comment, Golden Silver Age Lois still mocks Clark for no reason. Yes, and by the way, we have an episode of this on Comics League for Super Wonder Legacy exposing why Lois Lane is annoying. But that's just me. That's true with Nightfall. Hopefully they do in the Reeves verse. Yeah, I would love to be to. That would be cool, actually, if they actually do the Nightfall storyline, like the movie ends, bang, with the knee, and the next one is they can truncate it and just have like half of Batman, like let's say 5 be like John Paul Valley as Batman, and then Batman recovering, and then the whole Night Quest, I think, is the one.
Okay, based on that, okay, would you say the Dark Knight Rises is more of adaptation of, let's say, Batman Incorporated or Nightfall? Because I get strong
Nightfall. It's I don't think it's incorporated. You could say No Man's Land more.
No Man's Land. Okay, that's fair.
I would say I know that one. Say, yeah. What?
Keep on going.
Okay, because the reason I say that is because Nightfall is a very popular storyline. The debut of Bane, the breaking of Batman's back, John Paul Valley, the edgy 90s Batman. But in live action, that is a very hard premise to pull off. You will have a much better chance of adapting Nightfall as a story arc in animation than you ever would live action.
That's true, and they could pull it like they did with the Dark Knight Returns and make them multiple parts. That way, you could do all 3 books. Temple says that, and Nightfall could be a 3-part movie series. Yeah, exactly. Do that. Essentially, do that because Dark Knight Returns did that pretty well, and that was for 1 book. By the way, I would love if they did sequels to that and did the other books.
I mean, you technically got a sequel with Tales of the Dark Multiverse Nightfall, so.
Mm-hmm. But what I mean is a sequel animated movie to Dark Knight Returns. All the books.
Oh.
Also, and Nightfall is an animated movie. Also, Tim Drake is heavily important in that story. Yeah, just have like you could include that as part of. As part near the end, because he comes in as Robin. Actually, no, he comes in. He's Robin from the very beginning of Nightfall because the death of Jason Todd had just happened.
I think publication wise, Tim Drake officially becoming Robin was like a couple months to a year before Nightfall kicked off.
Yeah,
I want to say it was at least a year.
It's in the trade for Under the Red Hood, or like Death in the Family. They should do a Batman Venom as the second story of Reeves. Actually, yes, that works because of that drug he like injected into his leg to like get back up after he was hit in the chest with a shotgun blast. That would be fun. I would like that.
But as much as I'm much of a 90s and 2000s kid, no one really cares about Tim Drake anymore. Like, I'm sorry. I hate to be that guy.
She Who Must Not Be Named didn't help.
Who, Sarnoff?
No.
No.
You walked right into that. You walked right into that.
Which comic writer am I referring to by she who must not be named?
Voldemort.
She who must not be named. It's a woman.
Sorry, you're just making this too easy. Okay, all right. Have the clip ready. I'm gonna say it. Have the clip ready. I'm serious. Megan Fitzmartin.
Why did you say that name?
Thank you.
Why do you play that? I could get claimed.
Once. But anyway. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Tevia. That's the she did in no way help. We seriously need a Green Lantern anime movie that doesn't adapt Emerald Twilight. That's true.
Wait. Now, Emerald Twilight. Now, okay, I know they wanted to make Green Lantern, Hal Jordan the villain, and that Dark Spiral. But as flawed as that story is, it had a solid concept. It truly was a solid.
I liked it. I liked that Green Lantern movie.
Wait, are we talking about the Emerald Twilight storyline where Hal goes insane, or the anthology movie comprised of multiple Green Lanterns?
No, I think he's talking about the Tomorrowverse Green Lantern movie.
Oh, that was terrible.
It basically adopted. No. I highly dispute that. I don't think that was terrible.
They literally turned Jon Stewart and gave him Kyle Rayner's origin.
Well, they always do that, dude. The origin for Kyle Rayner in the DC AAU is Hal Jordan's origin. They always do that.
I said Jon Stewart, not Hal Jordan, but I get your point.
No, but the analogy applies.
I get your point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got that. But yeah, so the point is, don't be too overly harsh about this, particularly when we have, after this, from 2016 and on, DC takes a nosedive, particularly in terms of sales. So this is why Talati and I are going to be covering all the good books that happened in this time period.
Yes.
I still don't get why spoiler Hal was killed in Bury My Power. Couldn't they get the Parallax Atom? They still can. Well, here's the thing, what you got to understand. Didn't Parallax did die in Final Night, right?
Yeah.
Hal did die, and then he was reborn as a Green Lantern. That's what people.
No, he was reborn as the Spectre for a while. Then he became a Green Lantern.
Then he became a Green Lantern. But the point is, he died and then came back. That's what they could do.
I mean, they're already setting up Crisis. Now, if you really want a bad Tomorrowverse movie, and I know we're saving a movie night review on it, but Justice League War.
I actually like that one.
I get it, but that movie solely existed to set up Crisis. That's literally it.
My problem with it. 2 of the 3 shorts serve no purpose.
Which one? The Batman one or the Wonder Woman one?
The Batman and the Wonder Woman one served absolutely no purpose. Keep the black and white one because that leads into the rest of the movie.
We seriously need a live-action Green Lantern movie featuring Star Sapphires.
Yes.
Well, I'd argue the Green Lantern, the animated series, but since that movie was in synergy with the Ryan Reynolds movie, probably poor chances.
Mm-hmm. But it was fun. I still like the Ryan Reynolds movie. I think that'd be fun.
I'm okay. It's not that, looking back older and a little wiser, it's not that bad.
We'll probably review that for movie now. It's a world connected to Crisis on Infinite Earths, and which is why the movie is 3 parts. Yeah, exactly.
Probably the smartest thing DC's done in a decade, because you are not going to be able to tell Crisis in 90 minutes. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen.
Nope. Yes, exactly. Which raises the question: what was the point of War World?
Setting up Crisis, Tevye.
Yeah,
like I just
that's the point.
Like, seriously, you could take out the Gladiator Batman ass short and the Diana teaming up with Jonah Hex, and you literally save almost 45 minutes.
Yep. You save, you lose nothing.
It was okay. I just hate that it ruined the Green Lantern IP for a whole
I got bad news, boys. Looks like the Wonder Woman game is gonna get live serviced.
Yep, I just posted on Twitter. Yes.
I had money on that, so
one of the job postings is for someone experienced with live service. Yes, Tevye is basically summarizing my point there. No, it's not a joke. I really wish it was, Tevye. I really do.
Well, that killed the chances of this game being a success.
Oh boy. As if we didn't have many examples of live service, particularly with DC.
Now, which would you say is worse, Gotham Knights or 2017's Avengers?
2017's
Gotham.
Avengers.
No.
Oh, we
No.
have a debate,
No.
ladies
At least
and
Gotham
gentlemen.
Knights is playable.
Well, true, but to a certain extent, there's a lot of
Okay, here's my compromise. Gotham Knights is wasted potential. Avengers 2017 is just garbage.
Yes, it is. Because I only want the one where it's a single player game. It could still be single player, but live service, as in like DLC and stuff, and then you have to pay for it.
Guys, we'll leave this for under 2 games episode.
But it's gonna be CLD this week.
Okay, yeah, CLD.
Yeah, that's fair. That's more appropriate.
So there's a lot to cover for CLD. But
It's
anyway,
gonna be a lot. We got a lot. We really extended this episode, Taladia.
I know we did.
Yeah.
Temple's first Superman game we're gonna get from decades is gonna be live service. It sucks. Just imagine Insomniac games with Battle Pass and laughing my.
I actually can't imagine that, believe it or not. I actually can't imagine that.
So
but the gaming right.
Blame David Zasloff not listening to the fans.
And I get it. You're trying to prioritize sales.
Where's the second Warner Brothers clip?
We can't risk it, man. We took a risk with the why'd you say that name meme? We already took a risk.
All right.
No, but that's not copyrighted because it's.
Oh, if it's fair game, by all means.
Is it?
Yeah, second Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
Thank you, Snyder.
Thank you, Zack Snyder. But on that note,
save it for CLD, J Heat.
Yes. On that note, we're gonna leave the stream now. We're gonna close the book on this chapter of Super Wonder comic series. If you guys are watching this later on, let us know your thoughts on issue 10 of Superman and Wonder Woman, volume 2. And we've got 2 more comics to cover.
Mm-hmm.
And
No, this is 12 issues, remember?
yeah, we're at issue 10 right now. So we've got 2 more.
11, 12. Oh, okay, sorry. I keep getting confused.
Wait, are y'all covering volume 4?
Nope.
No.
We're stopping this series after this, Jade. In other words, well, let me handle this. We're not covering anything that has Peter J. Tomasi's name on it.
You're not gonna let that go, are you?
Nope. No, I am not. He took a good series and tanked it, and it's still out till Rebirth.
And Temple, this might actually be happening. Just to let you know.
Oh, that's probably gonna happen. I guarantee.
Oh, that's likely. That is very
Daniel's
likely.
asking before we.
Dude, after
Daniel-
like all these announcements, Warner Brothers stocks tanked harder than the Flash.
Speaking of worst flops in the Flash, I might go see the Marvels for review purposes, but I already know this movie's gonna be bad.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right, but on that note, Jay Heat, let them know what you got coming up on your channel because you're panelist on the Tonight Show.
Fair enough. Well, I recently did my 170 subscriber celebration. Thank you so much to Ladia for collabing on that. I also have some New Direction videos in the works. Now, New Direction Arrow did get delayed, but we are going to cover Bat Family characters starting this Sunday with Jared. So please be on the lookout for that. And also I have some.
We're not covering Final Days of Superman because that's a prelude to Rebirth. It actually has on the trade prelude to Rebirth.
Not to mention with Scion, Final Days of Superman is kind of redundant.
Not to mention it's a stupid series.
I mean, it's literally Superman dying from kryptonite poisoning. I don't know.
Kryptonite poisoning when Wonder Woman has the gods that could heal him.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
No, I'm just gonna die. But anyway, sorry about that.
Anyway, back what you were saying, is Jay Heat done with his outro?
No, I'm not done. I'm just glad that I got 170 subscribers. Hopefully we can reach 180 before the end of the year. So like, comment, subscribe. And if I do get 180 before the end of the year, Taladia has to collab with me while I review Gotham Knights.
Hey, I'm gonna
and
be
if we
there
get
too,
200,
I'll be there with you too.
And if we get 200, both of you have to collab with me with reviewing Batwoman.
Why do I have to review Batwoman? Wait a second here. Why are you roping me on this?
This is for Marvel last year.
You didn't even do that. You didn't even read the book.
I'm a graduate student. I have an excuse.
No. Okay, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna agree to this, but not watch it.
Fair enough.
Suck
Fair
it.
enough.
This has been the greatest episode.
He's
we've
like, wait
done.
a second. This is payback from Marvel. Oh, you mean the book you didn't read when I told you to?
Low blow, man.
Yeah,
Wait a
WB is asking for bankruptcy at this point. Yeah.
Wait, which would you rather have? Watching Batwoman or the Injustice movie? Or even the Injustice
movie.
Injustice movie.
I enjoy that movie, by the way. The characters act consistently with the way they would actually act if these were main continuity characters, except for Superman.
Terry, you're making this too easy, man. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm bringing it's all content.
You're falling for it.
It's all content.
It's all content. It's all content for my channel. So thanks. But Jared, let them know what
something worse. Oh, I have some ideas, but I'm not going to spoil them
for
here.
me. I just uploaded what went live like I think 2 hours ago is my review of the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 comics. Those are pretty cool. And for Under Two Capes this week, Taladia and whoever wants to show up, we'll be talking about why DC really needs to invest in gaming. And then for movie night, we're talking about The Reign of the Superman, otherwise known as the worst DC AMU movie of all time because it's the Lois Lane movie. And then let's see what else. And then let's see what SuperWonder Legacy, Britt and I. Actually, it's fortuitous that we went on an anti-Rebirth rant because our episode this week is going to be why Rebirth was a failure.
Sins Remembered is a good suggestion. Thank you, Taladia. Thank you.
Wait.
That's for you.
There's Sins Past. There's a sequel to Sins Past. Oh, Nick has got to read that. Yes, I really hate Lois. I really do. I really do.
He really does.
Oh,
but
yeah,
yes, it will be about why Rebirth has actually hurt DC more than it helped.
Before we leave, there's just something I want to say. Super.
Don't do that.
Come on. It's getting old. Come on.
I was going to say thank you for supporting me these past year.
No, you weren't. I don't lie enough to the nice people. Lying's a bad habit.
Oh, yeah. I'm not lying. I just like trolling you guys.
Read the Ultimate
content.
Marvel comics where Wolverine is the father of No.
Wolverine
is not. Wait. Wolverine is not the father. He just walks in on Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Thank God this is not my channel. Toddy, you want to take a rap for this one?
Yeah. So on my channel, guys, at the ending of the weekend, I'm going to be doing more Marvel Spider-Man 2. We're going to be finishing that up hopefully this weekend on Sunday. If not, it'll be next week. There's a lot of things I got planned out, and also I got Sil Abdul. Got a network with him. We're going to do another episode recording with him, and then let's see. Tuesday, myself and Jared will be continuing on Spider-Man, and then Wednesday is issue 11 of SuperWonder. We'll think of a title. We'll, do the thumbnail and everything, and Jared will come up with images. And as always, he's a genius when it comes to that. Always a genius at that stuff. So, and also I'd like to also say that, guys, make sure you guys tune in Friday night for CLD and movie night. One go.
Yeah, we're gonna do it as one stream because I had to reschedule it for Friday this week, and it didn't make sense to do two streams because then they'll start competing with each other. So I'm like, screw it, let's do it one.
So yeah, we're doing one full stream, guys. You guys want to be there? Do not miss that opportunity to hear my thoughts on the whole thing that happened today with WBD.
We're gonna be good. And by the way, for those who don't know, CLD is the news show I do on my channel, Comics League, and I'm sure a link will be in the description below. But yes, we're gonna be going all into the latest Warner Brothers BSery. That might have to be a running segment on my show about the BSery of Warner Brothers.
Yes. So
Isn't that
on
like
that,
every Tuesday?
Yeah, it is.
so on that note, guys, I'd like to say thank you to Jared for being my co-host as always, bringing the rant, bringing the energetic that he is. He's always energetic whenever he does the streams with me.
You guys, it's gotten to the point where all I have to do is say the name Lois Lane and I'll go off.
Yeah,
Lois Lane.
and
She sucks as a character. I really hate her. DC keeps pushing her.
Well, it's
You're a
not like
legend.
it's a council of Loises. Like, seriously.
The council of loser lane. That's the best way to put it. And
Yes,
and Jay,
thank you,
Jay,
Mixie.
and Jay, thanks for popping in.
No
Part
problem.
of the stream. You wanted a link, I sent you a link because you're a member. So that's where you get the perks, guys. If you become a member, if you guys want to become a member, it's from 0.99 pence, so 0.99 cent, up to 4.99. You get to be a part of the panels whenever I'm live. You get to early access to videos. You get all this exclusive stuff. Members also get exclusive Discord rights. So you get the Discord server. You get Discord members room, so you guys get to talk in there and talk about whatever it is you want to talk about comics in my Discord server. Jay here and Jared will tell you that I do have that in my Discord server, so there's that as well. So
Definitely.
what-
Be sure to check it out.
take care, everyone. See you next time, chaps. Yes,
Flame on.
And you're allowed to have a wrong opinion.
Yeah, and you're allowed to have a wrong opinion. Yes, and on that note, any final words, Jared?
I feel like I've talked a lot this episode, but
You get the final
probably
say.
okay. Final say Lois Lane sucks. Done.
Okay,
See you
we're
later.
out. We're out.